Acadia Axewomen meeting in the final. Good afternoon with Augie Jones, Vince Williams on hand, Alan April joins us as well. The Acadia Axewomen proved yesterday afternoon why they are nationally ranked all season long. With defensive tenacity and timely offensive scoring, they were able to capture the semifinals, beating St. Mary's University. The upstart, Cinderella story, University of Prince Edward Island Panthers, they won a thrilling nail-biter, beating the defending champions, the Cape Breton Capers, in a thriller. So this one should be a very special final between these two teams, Augie.
Well, yeah, and you always love the championship game. It's the end of a long season, and these players put a lot of time in. And really, Acadia's been looking at this particular goal, for 3 years, if not since last year. They went to the finals. They didn't win. They've had a fantastic season, really represented our conference well as far as the national rankings. And they've got to get by a UPEI team that has been so surprising and great to watch. There's some young pieces to PEI that haven't been afraid of the moment, and they played well in the quarterfinal game, played well in the semifinal game. So we're really looking forward to who's going to win this championship today.
And one of those young players is the super sophomore Jenna Mae Ellsworth. She's been outstanding throughout this tournament.
Well, yeah, she's calm, she's cool, and we often give those type of qualities to a veteran. Well, she was Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. This year, she's the type of point guard, 5'10", bigger than a lot of other point guards, penetrates, hits timely threes, but the calm, cool nature is what makes her so exciting to watch, and she's a real leader for PEI.
And for the Acadia Axewomen, it was the Port Williams, Nova Scotia native Haley McDonald, who was outstanding in the first 20 minutes, scoring 17 points against St. Mary's yesterday in the semifinal.
Well, yeah, and Haley did a great job getting Acadia started in the first quarter when Paloma really wasn't scoring a whole lot, Allie Berry wasn't scoring a lot. And as a matter of fact, Haley didn't score in the second half. But the way that the game was going, she didn't have to. There were a lot of other pieces that Acadia had. But when they needed the scoring, Haley hit threes, she had steals, she handled the point. They kind of played 2 point guards. So, look for her to have another good game today.
So the stage is set. The performers are all in place. The tip-off between the Axewomen, the Panthers, next on TV1.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Ross from the Acadia Axewomen. Thank you for supporting university sport. Please have fun, but stay safe. This message is brought to you Budweiser Prohibition, the zero alcohol beer that actually tastes like beer. Thanks everyone, enjoy freely.
Clock is ticking. It's do or die, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Welcome to Scotiabank Center. Welcome back, that is. Let's go down to the public address announcer, Carissa Poulin.
The fourth starter for the Axewomen, a 5'1" guard in her 5th year from Wolfen, Nova Scotia. And this year's regular season MVP, number 11, Paloma Anderson. The final starter for the Panthers, a 6'1" center in her 2nd year from Barcelona, Spain. This year's Defensive Player of the Year, number 15, Carolina Del Cento. And the final starter for Acadia, 6'1" forward in her 5th year from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, number 14, Allie Berry. In his 5th season as head coach for the Panthers and a longtime educator, please welcome Greg Gould. And in his 3rd season as head coach for the Axewomen and a former Acadia University student himself, this year's AUS Coach of the Year, Len Harvey. The referees for today's games are Brent Stalker, Alicia Bird, and Brian States. Now, if you would all please rise and remove your hats and join Josie Shampoo in the singing of our national anthem.
Panthers, Axe women ready to get it going. Let's send it down courtside and meet our third member of our broadcast, Alan April. Good afternoon, Alan.
Thanks, guys. Well, a long season all comes down to this. 40 minutes of basketball with the conference title on the line. Should be another high-scoring affair between two of the top 3 scoring teams in the conference this season. These two teams played twice this year. The first matchup in Charlottetown, Acadia handled the Panthers 84-63, led by Katie Ross with a season-high 20 points. But the very next matchup on January 20th, UPEI shocked the Axewomen 88-68, handing them their first loss of the year. Should be an interesting game. Going to throw it back to Vince and Augie now with the tip. Guys.
Thanks, Alan. Axe women with the control, and right off the bat, they go right inside Augie to Barry, and she forces the foul. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Allie, you know, 5th year, knows how to post up. I mean, we talk about getting deep post position. She got really deep post position, and Carolina Del Santo has 1 foul with 8 seconds into the game. So there's got to be, you know, she's got to get early position on Allie and get to a defensive position where she's not going to foul. Because really, once you don't have Carolina Del Santo, then there's not a whole lot of posts to back her up with UPEI.
And Barry goes 1 for 2, but a second chance opportunity here. Rebound by Rigby, and she's fouled by McDonald. Let's check out the keys to the game, brought to you by TV1.
Well, PEI, 3rd game in 3 days. They've got to relish this underdog role and have a little chip on their shoulder to say we're here to win a championship. They've got to get more scoring than just Ellsworth and Baxendale. And with fatigue, they've got to get other people involved so that some of these starters get a rest in order to last this whole game. For Acadia, don't underestimate the Panthers. A couple teams did already and they got beat. They've got to move the ball and not just depend on Paloma or Haley. They've got to get other people involved as well.
McDonald's mixes with the left hand at the rim. Rebound by the Panthers, and back the other way in their second possession. Baxendale, closely guarded by Anderson. McLaughlin swings it to Rigby. Rigby with the right hand. Off to McLaughlin, back to Rigby. Shot clock under 10. Rigby's got to hurry. She loses the handle and eventually turns it over. Smith with the hustle play. Paloma in transition. Right hand, that's knocked away. Good defensive play there by Ellsworth. Baxendale back the other way now. And Baxendale's called for the double dribble. The officials this afternoon, Brent Stocker, Brian States, and Alicia Bird.
Yeah, and this is expected. The beginning of a championship game, under the big lights, a little bit jittery, a couple turnovers early. But these two very good teams are going to settle in, and we're going to see a great game today.
And that's off the foot of Del Santo. In that first possession, Del Santo of the Axewomen, that is, picked up their first personal. The defensive player of the year, as you mentioned, she's very important this afternoon inside that post area, guarding Barry. Smith.
Well, yeah, she's got long arms, and she's got a rebound because right now, Allie's getting better position than she is, and she's got to get a little turned up here because she's got a battle on her hands to try to contain Allie Berry.
And Barry has all 3 points for the Axewomen with 2 offensive rebounds. Rigby, baseline. Rigby misses. A rebound and a scramble for the loose ball. Rigby's called for the personal, and Rigby's had a tough tournament thus far for the Panthers. The first team all-star up to this point was 1 for 21 from the field in 2 games with 6 points, and now it's 1 for 23.
Yeah, and we don't want to put that on early. We're in the first minute, but I do know that I was going to say no matter who it was, it just happens to be Kira. Early on in the game, you got to move the ball and kind of feel it out. I think the last 2 times she had it, she really tried to force things. So that's not going to be a good formula for her nor the team. They just should get the ball moving and let the ball, we say sometimes let the ball do the work. That's what I would say to UPEI.
A turnover there. Smith throwing it away, is unable to get the ball inside. So the Panthers looking for their first 2 points. Nice fadeaway jumper. And it's off the rim. Couldn't get it to connect was Del Santo. Smith with the rebound. She crosses the timeline, gives it to Anderson. Anderson now, pull-up jumper, and that goes down. So jump shot there for Belanda Anderson, and she gets off to a good start in her first attempt.
Well, this is what we call a pull-up jump shot because you're dribbling, and then at the last second, you pull up and you shoot it. Paloma's become very good at that over the 3 years that she's been playing with the Axewomen in full season. So I'm not surprised she hits that shot.
Rigby, second chance opportunity there. Del Santo powers it up, and there seems to be a lid at the end of the rim for the Panthers as they just can't hit the mark.
Well, and Greg Gould already came to the table to look for a timeout.
It looks like a push from behind by Barry, trying to gain position on Del Santo. So that time down, defensively, Del Santo does an outstanding job of getting in front of Barry, blocking out.
Well, yeah, and when we say blocking out, that also gives the referee a chance to call what we call over the back, or the offensive rebounder being too physical trying to get it. If you don't box her out, then it's all fair. So it's good to see Carolina box out and really stop Allie from getting her third offensive rebound.
And there it is. Jenna May Ellsworth finally gets the Panthers on the board with their first deuce. But she commits the foul down the other end with the bump, trying to get in front of Paloma Anderson, and she's called for her first personal.
Yeah, and as you know, we've been saying it all weekend, illegal contact. The defender has to be in positive defensive position. So as long as you're moving your feet and you're keeping your distance, then they're not going to call it. But in that case, Jenna May stood up a little bit, and she did make the physical contact with Paloma.
So Anderson with it on the wing to McDonald inside the Barry. Barry trying to back down the defender, and that's a nice left-handed finish at the rim as he was able to get up and over Yepes, who's checked into the game for Del Santo.
Well, Yepes is kind of, as we said, that utility player that can play. Now you see her on the perimeter, but yet she's playing defense against the tallest person for Acadia.
And Yepes, the sophomore from Ecuador, had a huge game yesterday afternoon, went 6 for 12 from the field with 17 points off the bench in the victory versus the Capers. Yepes now.
And Yepes plays really good post defense for someone, as we see here, who's playing on the perimeter offensively. She plays very good post defense.
Yepes swings it to McLaughlin. She can't find the mark. That's a good defensive play there by McDonald. Anderson now off to the races in transition, kicks it out to Smith. Smith with the jumper. It's no good. And a scramble ensues. Last touch by Baxendale. And it will remain Acadia Axe women possession. As checking into the game for the first time for the Panthers is Annabelle Caron, and Rigby will go to the bench along with the Axe women. Ellen Hack checks in for the first time along with Katie Ross. Barry, and she's called for too many steps. It could have been a combination of either too many steps or a charge there. That was great position defensively by McLaughlin.
Well, yeah, and I thought, Jane, again, we've got undersized people playing Allie, and when you're undersized, you got to be smart in there because she's taller and stronger. Really nice defense, interior defense by Jane.
Footwork and quickness is key with the smaller player. McLaughlin now trying to go to work offensively. McLaughlin spins in the lane and forces the foul. She'll go to the line to shoot 2, trailing by 5 with 5:12 left.
Yeah, Jane, you know, she's a passionate, emotional player. She takes Haley, you know, gets pushed, and then there's a little bit of a oomph out the way. Haley complains about it, but yet, you know, that's the energy Jane brings, and I'm not saying that borders on sportsmanship, I'll tell you that, but, you know, you have players on both the male and female side that bring that type of energy, and Jane's a fighter. She's a competitor.
The 4th-year senior from Fortune PEI, and she misses both, unable to capitalize on the free throws, and it remains a 5-point deficit for the Panthers.
You know, Panthers started slow yesterday as well, which is expected from a team that played quarterfinals and semifinals, so we're not surprised. Nice steal there. Not surprised that they're a little bit under the gun right now, but they've got to catch themselves.
3-ball coming up, and that's no good. Ellsworth with the rebound, but it's ripped away by Anderson. Turned over, though. Pat can't handle that pass. Baxendale back the other way. Right hand, it's no good.
Good defense.
McDonald now with the rebound. The pace quickening here between these two teams. Kicks it out to Anderson. And Ross thought about the 3. Nice freeze, dribble drive in tight, and knocked away by Yepes. So let's take a look at the road to the final here, how both teams made it. As you can see, the Panthers able to knock off the Varsity Reds in the quarterfinals, then knocking off the defending champions, the Cape Breton Capers, to get their berth in this final. And for the Acadia Axe women, they were able to knock off the St. Mary's Huskies convincingly yesterday afternoon to get here as well.
If you're watching at home and want to be part of the action, you can thanks to the Kent Own the Paint Instagram contest. You can win a Visa gift card by choosing the player with the best stats during today's game on your mobile device. Here's how to play. Simply follow Kent Building Supplies on Instagram via your mobile device. Click on Kent Building Supplies Instagram story on the top left of your screen and make your real-time pick. Choose who you think will score the most points during the game on your mobile device. Winners will be chosen at the end of today's game.
Thanks, Alan. And as you can see here, Greg Gould directing some last instructions here towards his team, as it's, you know, this particular huddle's been always interactive, where the players are well involved into game management, and that's a pretty good thing, and that's been a recipe for success in the first two games in these championships, and is carrying over here into the final.
Well, yeah, and it's an early timeout by a coach with a team that's 1 for 11 from the floor right now. So, you know, he emphasized ball movement, but if you noticed, he was calm and cool. He didn't seem stressed, because that stress you can pass on to your players. He just kind of said, come on, let's get ourselves together. And it's a 40-minute game, and right now, really, Acadia is 3 for 11. So it's not as like it's not like they're shooting spectacularly from the floor either.
And the jump shot's no good there by Anderson. 3 for 12 now are the Axe women. Baxendale, crossover. Gets bottled up, swung out to Yepes. Yepes with the drive. And that's a tough shot forced by McDonald. Rebound by Barry.
Yeah, and good no call by the referees. I think when you take a tough shot, we often as coaches would say, if you call that foul, wow, you're bailing her out. She took a bad shot and you're calling the foul. So the no call is kind of fair. You weren't squared up, you forced a shot. The defense was in the cylinder, they stayed straight up, nice no call.
And checking back into the game for the Panthers is Rigby along with McLaughlin. And for the Axe women, Smith. And for the first time this afternoon, for the Axe women as well, and it looks like Kelsey Rice is checking in. So we have a violation there. And the Panthers will gain possession. Panthers need to take advantage of some of these turnovers. That's the 6th turnover in the afternoon by the Axe women. Rigby now swings it to McLaughlin, trailing by 5. 3:20 left here in the first quarter. Del Santo, out to Rigby for 3. Bang! And she knocks down her first dagger of the tournament.
I could feel the breath of fresh air that happened for her. You know, I love the way Kara Rigby works, and she's been very calm and cool this weekend, but that's her best shot all weekend, and they needed that.
She caught it in stride and stepped into that 3 from beyond the arc. The 5th-year senior from Charlottetown, PEI, shooting the 3 ball at 37% on the season, averaging 18 points. And man, I tell you, the Panthers would love to get those 18 plus in this final today.
Yeah, great point, Vince. I think that they really do need her. And the other thing to keep in mind is, you know, Baxendale and Ellsworth have logged a lot of minutes over the last 2 games. And, you know, this is a coach's call, but you've really got to somehow give them some rest. And I suppose you'd give them the rest in the first half.
Right.
Because you may really need them in the second half.
You need those tires in the second half. They did some heavy lifting to get to this point.
Oh, yeah.
1 for 2 at the free throw line, so we have a 3-point game. Rigby again kicks it out to Ellsworth. Ellsworth with the pull-up, short at the rim, and that goes out of bounds, and it'll be Acadia Axe women possession here. But that was a pretty good looking move though by Ellsworth.
Well, yeah, we call that's a 1 dribble pull up. You saw she faked, saw that the person was coming at her, shot fake, 1 dribble towards the basket, and pull up into a shot. Didn't go in, but really nice fundamentals.
Hat for 3, and she connects from beyond the arc. And Hat can shoot it from downtown as well. The junior forward from Fall River, Nova Scotia, shoots the 3 ball at 45% from downtown. Rigby forces the foul, and it looks like it might be on Hat, and it is. It's her first personal, and Rigby will go to the line to shoot 2. So the senior is trying to get things going here early in this quarter. on her offensive side and get a positive so she can go forward with a positive frame of mind, because she's going to be very important, and we touched on it several times, and we're probably going to touch on it throughout the game as we go along.
Well, yeah, and I think that also she's the one that didn't play a whole lot of minutes the last 2 games because, you know, she hasn't played that well, so she's been on and off the court. But I do think that PEI is feeling a little bit of that emotional down, which affects your body because they played a lot of basketball, some pretty exciting basketball. And so you got to wonder if they can actually get their, you know, their energy level up, because right now it's a little bit low, which is expected, and that could be from fatigue.
And Rigby makes both from the free throw line. Barry now, second chance opportunity. Anderson, pull up, tough shot there. Anderson can get it to go, but once again on the offensive glass, and cleaning up the glass and getting the put back is Barry, and she's been very effective in the painted area. The Panthers are having difficulties blocking her out.
Well, she's getting good position, and when we would say do early work on defense, get to the good position before she does. So right now, Del Santos coming back. You cannot let Allie Berry get set up close to the basket because she's going to get offensive rebounds and she's going to score in the post.
Berry, very good, 3 for 4 from the field. She's got 8 rebounds and 8 points. Good defensive play there. Blocking out there was Del Santo in a battle for the rebound by Kelsey Rice, and that was outstanding for Rice to get in there because they have possession still as the arrow favored them. Barry, man, she is going off right now. Nice catch and conversion inside the paint. She's got 10. She's got 2 rebounds away from a double-double already. Ellsworth, though, answers with the right hand back the other way. Just over a minute left here in the first quarter. Panthers trail 15-9. Smith now off the screen for 3. And that's deflected. That's short. Good defensive play by Yepes.
Rebound by Allie Berry.
Berry again. Hat, left hand. That's too strong off the backboard. Kicked around and finally scooped up by Ellsworth.
Well, I think Del Santos got to really put a little more effort into her defense at this point because Allie Berry has 10 of 15, and, you know, the defensive player of the year, you're the one guarding her. So you've got to get up and down the court, and you got to get into better defensive position against Allie.
There is no time and there is no tomorrow. It's one and done. The winner moves on to the national championships in Regina next weekend. Rigby now. Closely guarded, nice crossover, Rigby right hand, little contact there, no call. Smith back the other way. He's got to hurry. 5 seconds on the game clock. McDonald for 3, no good. Rigby with the rebound, and that'll do it. So the Panthers trail 15-9 after 10. We'll be back with more from Scotiabank Center after these messages.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak, topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Welcome back to TV1's coverage of the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Basketball Championships. After the first quarter, the Acadia Axemen lead the UPEI Panthers 15-9. Let's check out how these two teams got here in yesterday's quarterfinals. Jenna May Ellsworth got it going early for the Panthers with 7 first quarter points. Carly Yepes provided a huge boost off the Panthers bench with 17 points in the game. And this year's Rookie of the Year, Reese Baxendale, continued her spectacular play all weekend with 24 points. Allison Keogh tried to keep the Capers in it. She had 22 points and 17 rebounds. But this Reese Baxendale 3 with 36 seconds remaining put the Panthers on top for good, and they took it 78-73. And then in the other semifinal, Paloma Anderson and the Acadia Axemen were tough to stop. Anderson had 14 points, including this tough layup. Haley McDonald scored all 17 of her points in the first half. The Huskies fought back with some strong post play. Katrina Morell had a team-high 13 points in her final AUS game, but the firepower of the Axewomen proved to be simply too much for the Huskies to handle as they took it 65-43 to advance to their second straight AUS final. Back to you, Vincent Augie, with the action.
Thanks, Alan. Let's take a look at the numbers real quick here. Augie, after 10 minutes, and you can see the Axewomen are getting it done offensively, and where we're at the score, the Panthers got to be happy about that.
Well, I mean, the Acadia's got to be happy with where they're at with 15 points. You know, there's a little bit of fatigue and there's a little bit of 3 games in a row thing happening for PEI, because right now they're not shooting a good percentage, and and they're getting the shots up. They're just not going in. But for PEI, don't give up, don't let up, keep coming. You're not down by that many, and as long as you keep hustling, you're going to be in it.
And Rigby's shot to start the quarter, no good. Acadia now on the attack. McDonald for 3. Shot is no good. Off the rim, last touch by the Axewomen. The Axewomen start this second quarter with Smith, McDonald, Anderson, Ross, and Rice. For the Panthers, it's Ellsworth, Yepes, Rigby, Del Santo, and Baxendale. Del Santo kicks it to Ellsworth.
Nice defense by Chanel on the closeout.
Inside to Del Santo, she can't handle it, but it looked like Kelsey Rice went over the back, and she's called for the foul. So it'll be Panthers possession on the baseline with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, you see Paloma Anderson right now shadowing Reese Baxendale. Reese is averaging 26 points a game in the playoffs. And listen, Paloma's not giving her an inch. She's on her everywhere she goes. And right now, she's doing a great job.
And Anderson, with her own offense back the other way, gets the tough shot to go off the window. And we've seen that shot several times throughout this weekend. And she's just dynamic when it comes to dribble driving and finishing at the rim. Ellsworth, right hand, that's a tough shot in tight, can't get it to go. Loose ball ensues, Rigby picks it up, she loses the handle. Smith back the other way on a 3-on-1, on 3-on-2 now. And a good shot off the backboard in transition by Katie Ross. And that's her first 2 of the afternoon for the Bedford Nova Scotia product, the senior. 10-point lead for the Axewomen, the largest this afternoon. Rigby inside, the Yepes draws the double team, bottled up there, last touch by Rice, and it will remain Panthers possession.
Yeah, the defense by Acadia right now, against St. Mary's, they were outstanding. And right now there's a double team, no fouling, and really nice job by Acadia. Right now that they're holding UPEI to what they're holding them to. Nice, strong move by Jane. Defense wins championships, and right now that's what Acadia is bringing.
A strong move there by McLaughlin.
Yeah, undersized. Haley's a lot shorter than Jane, a couple of inches. Jane powers up and scores. PEI's waiting on a wave. They're waiting on a roll. There's some momentum. And, it may come. I think you keep at it and it may come. You got to make those foul shots. I mean, every opportunity you get to dig into the lead, you got to make those shots.
McLaughlin misses, but back the other way. Chanel Smith didn't waste any time getting up the court. She forces the contact, and she'll go to line to shoot 2. Smith, the senior guard from Halifax, Nova Scotia, hits the first. She's an 84% free throw shooter on the season.
And again, as we mentioned yesterday, her uncle is Wade Smith, the tournament. He's the honorary chair of the tournament this year. And, I'm sure he's up there watching her play in this championship game right now.
Some great bloodlines through the Smith family, as her cousin will take to the court in the men's final.
Great defense by Acadia right now. They're moving, they're closing people out, forcing a PEI into really bad shots.
Del Santo back up, second chance, that's tapped away, and the rebound scooped up by Ross. Anderson kicks it out to Smith. Smith for 3, and she connects. Smith getting on a roll now, starting to find her offense.
Yeah, nice pass. I mean, you think Paloma waits on her. 1-2. Greg said there was a little bit of a travel. I'm right here too. I don't know. It's close. But I know that Chanel, great defense, and now she's starting to heat up a little bit. And PEI's in trouble here. Like, they've got to make some baskets and get stops at the other end.
McLaughlin now to Ellsworth, looking for answers. Shot clock under 10. Ellsworth's left hand, no good. Right rebound by Ross. Ross back the other way in transition, looking to push it. Smith now, pull up, and that's a tough shot forced by Yepes. Rebound by Rice, though. Another offensive rebound, and Acadia continuing to dominate on that particular department. Barry had it, lost the handle. Del Santo picks it up. Ellsworth now. Panthers really need some offense here. McLaughlin for three. It's no good. Rebound by Baxendale. Baxendale draws the triple team. Kicked out to Ellsworth. Ellsworth thought about it. Right hand drive. Ellsworth off the glass. No good. And a battle underneath the basket between Del Santo and Rice. And Del Santo draws the foul on Rice.
Well, you see Ellsworth going down the middle. A lot of help by Acadia. Like, when you beat one person, Acadia has the helper coming over, and they're getting there early. Right now, they're stifling UPEI with team defense, and I think the way for UPEI to solve this is they've got to move the ball. So when you move the ball, the defense has to move, and it gives you a chance to get them a little bit off balance. If you're a penetration team, it's easy to guard the person who's dribbling because you can see her. It's harder to guard the ball on the pass. I think PEI's got to get more into passing and trying to get this help defense a little bit off kilter for Acadia because they're handling their penetration right now.
13-point lead for the Axe women. Let's check in with Alan April. What do you got for us, Alan?
Thanks, guys. Well, the story of the weekend for the UPEI Panthers has got to be the breakout performance of AUS Rookie of the Year, Reese Baxendale. The Sussex, New Brunswick native had a great regular season, averaging just over 10 points per game, but she's taken her game to a completely different level this weekend. 30 points and 7 rebounds in Friday's quarterfinal win over the UMB Varsity Reds, and she followed that up yesterday with 24 points. She's played 78 of a possible 80 minutes coming into today's final, and when I talked to UPEI's coach Greg Gould, he said he wasn't surprised by her play, that she's played all season with a confidence beyond her years, but Gould says as good as she's been offensively, he's been just as impressed with her defense and leadership this weekend as a first year. Guys,
thanks a lot, Alan. You've got to be impressed by Reese Baxendale. She's been outstanding. The Sussex New Brunswick freshman definitely is not playing like a freshman. She's playing like a seasoned veteran in this tournament.
Yeah, with the big lights, too. When you do things during playoff time, people remember it. It's significant. And right now, she's put her name on the map in the AUS.
Yepes now, she trips and call for the travel, but looks like she might have rolled an ankle there, holding her right ankle. She's in a little discomfort right now, and she's trying to walk it off.
Yeah, I think she went on the outside of that. It's tough to see there.
Yeah, it looked like she stepped on Smith's foot there. She'll go to the bench now, and checking back in for the Panthers is Rigby, and let's hope that Yepes is okay.
You know, I see Ellsworth and Baxendale getting their team fired up to play some defense. Definitely not counting them out. I think PEI is still in this, but they've got to make a little bit of a move here with 6 minutes left before the half.
Basketball game of runs, and the Panthers yet to find one in this one. Smith, jump shot out, a good look on the baseline, unable to connect, and a rebound by Ellsworth. She crosses the timeline now. Kicks it to McLaughlin. Baxendale, closely guarded by Anderson.
If you want an example of great defensive stance, watch Paloma play on the ball defense. She is down lower than Baxendale, moving her feet. And what it means is Reese is finding it hard she's finding it hard to do anything. Look at that defensive stance. Look at that. That's impressive. You have nowhere to go when someone's playing like that.
Textbook.
Now, if you notice, Chanel was up a little bit higher, and Rigby was able to go by her. I'm a proponent of deep stance. I was a guy that I'd love to get in stance. I thought it was intimidating for someone to come towards you, and you were in this deep, ready stance. I preach that all the time.
Rigby is perfect from the free-throw line on this trip. Defense is definitely going to be one of the elements that gives one of these teams the victory. Ross now the Barry. Barry kicks it out to Hat, it back to Ross. And there's Smith. And Smith's call for the push, and good defensive play there by Baxendale, moving her feet.
That's the thing that we talked about. So you move your feet on the bottom and keep your body up straight, or not necessarily not bent, but keep verticality where you're in your space. So Baxendale stayed in her space. Chanel got out of her space, and that's an offensive foul. Good call by the referees.
5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. McLaughlin for three. Bang! And McLaughlin hits from beyond the arc. McLaughlin was very good in the fourth quarter in that semifinal game yesterday against the Capers. But right back with an answer is Paloma Anderson.
That
Anytime
running
there's any
move,
momentum, Anderson always comes back with an answer.
well, she does, and that move is deja vu for me, man. I mean, I love Paloma, but tired of seeing that move because she gets the two big threes by Jane. They need something like this. And it's unexpected. Jane's not necessarily someone who's going to score 20 points, but she might today, but they really need those threes that she's shooting right now and making.
McLaughlin 2 for 2 from downtown. Had some pretty good looks, and that was deep. But Barry continuing with the beat inside, and she is going to work, and it's a problem for the bigs of the Panthers, Augie.
It is, and I don't, again, I think the fatigue, if there's one person that's really feeling it, it's Carolina Del Santo, because Allie Berry has a double-double already. And so, you know, basically Carolina's got to play more defense. But down the other end, Jane McLaughlin, you just look nice, penetrate, good form, hits the one, and this is the very next possession. And if you notice, it's Chanel trying to play two people up front, and it's difficult to do. They've got to make an adjustment on that.
Anderson, and that's a nice up and under, but once again on the offensive boards is Barry dominating, and that's offensive rebound number 5, 11 overall. She got 12 points and 11 rebounds, 5 for 6 from the field. Devastating right now offensively. Definitely going to be an adjustment, has to be made in the second half for the Panthers.
Well, even some of the smaller players have done a better job on Allie because they're moving a little more. And as I say, I think fatigue is really taking its toll on Del Santo.
Ross can't get the left hand to go. Rebound by Del Santo, and she was able to block out Barry there. McLaughlin, right hand, that's a tough shot, and Jane is starting to get things going offensively. She's not waiting till the fourth. The senior is getting it done, and she's penetrating, hitting shots from beyond the arc. She wants this championship. Barry now, right hand, gets great space and position, and makes no mistake with the bunny. 14 for Barry now.
Well,
She's
when you're a
6 for
senior
7.
like this is the type of game you'd love to have in the championship.
Leaving it all on the floor right now is the senior, Halle Berry from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. And coming up next here on TV1, it's Championship Sunday, 4:30 tip. The St. Francis Xavier X-Men versus the #1 ranked team in the AUS, the UMB Varsity Reds.
Well, that's Allie Berry's third foul, and as much as she's rolling right now, offensively and on the boards, she's got 3 fouls, which means she's definitely out for this final 3 minutes of the half. And Len's got to be very careful with her in the third and fourth quarter because you only get 5 fouls in the game, and she has 3.
7-point lead for the Axe women. McDonald now checking back. McDonald, that's a tough shot in the lane, and a bump there created by McDonald drawing the contact, and she gives a little smile to Anderson. Might have thought that she might have gotten away with one.
It actually should have been on Rigby. Hopefully they didn't.
And it's on Yepes, Rigby. Yepes coming back in for Rigby. And let's go courtside with Alan April. Alan, what you got for us?
Guys, Carla Yepes did in fact turn her ankle a couple plays ago. She sat out of the game. It was heavily taped, that right ankle of hers, but she was taking some jogs in the back part of the rink here, and she's ready to go. The Panthers need her. They have a short bench. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Alan. As you can see, Yepes crossing the timeline with her teammates. Ellsworth bottled up, kicks it out to Baxendale, and the tenacious defense there by Anderson, but she's called for the reach.
Yeah, but I love the intensity. So I'm always a guy that if we had a player on the other team that was hot, I wanted to guard that person. And I know Paloma Anderson said to Len Harvey, I got Baxendale in the championship game. And right now she's playing really good defense, and it's a compliment to Reese that they have to put that amount of focus on her because of what she did in the quarterfinals and in the semifinals.
And Baxendale hits the first of two in her first trip to the free throw line. And she goes 1 for 2. Believe it or not, that's her first point of the game. Panthers trailing 32-24, and they're still in this one without the help of the great productivity offensively by Baxendale. Anderson now, tough shot in the lane, and she gets it to go. And you got to be surprised with Anderson able to go up and over of Ellsworth, the bigger guard.
Well, and Anderson had a little bit of words to say to the PEI fans on the baseline too after she made that runner.
Del Santo's shot is short at the rim, rebound by Ross, and Anderson back the other way. Hatt now. Dribble handoff to Anderson. Ross back to Hatt. Hatt thought about it, shot fake. Shot clock dwindling under 10. Hatt for 3, too strong. Kicked around, Rice comes up with the loose ball and another offensive rebound and second chance opportunity. Anderson in tight, that's knocked away. Hatt now, she puts up the jumper. It's no good. Baxendale with the rebound, and she's all alone with 4 defenders back for the Axewomen. Baxendale, what a move to get in tight. And the second chance opportunity for Del Santo, but a devastating crossover and Euro step by Baxendale to create that opportunity.
Well, she knew Paloma wasn't on her this time, so, and again, Haley's not in stance, and that's what I talk about in stance. Paloma's low enough that Brees wouldn't even challenge her. When you're an offensive player and you look and you see a defender who's standing up and not down in stance, there's a good chance that you're going to drive by her.
So a 10-point lead for the Axewomen and a timeout on the floor.
So Allie Berry, right now is, I find, a dominant factor in this championship game, and it's rebounding. Like, if you look at this, and it's just, Del Santo is letting her get in front of her. Like, watch the positioning before the shot. She's right underneath the hoop. It's not even, so she's a strong enough player that you've got to get her out of that position. And when you let her get in that area, 2 feet around the basket, she is an all-star in there. She does not miss shots. She scoops up all the rebounds. That's what I'm saying from Del Santo's point of view. Defensive Player of the Year, you have to do a better job of physically getting in that spot so that she doesn't get the perfect spot against you. And right now, that's only reason that it helps PEI. Allie has 3 fouls.
Man, I tell you what, those are the eyes of a tiger right now. She can smell blood. Her stat line, 6 for 7 from the field. She's 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. 12 huge rebounds and 14 points. The only blemish would be the 3 fouls that she's got to deal with in the second half.
Of course, because if she wasn't with 3 fouls, she'd be still on the court right now.
So Del Santo will go to the line to shoot 2. The first one is too strong. Del Santo on the season shooting 46% from the charity stripe, and she misses both. So 2 big free throws there for Del Santo, can't capitalize, and it remains a 10-point lead with just over a minute left in the second quarter here for the Axewomen.
Having Kelsey Rice out there instead of Allie Berry, it doesn't help. Not much of a change on the boards, as you see, because Kelsey's a beast on the boards again. That's 2 offensive rebounds in a row.
Back-to-back rebounds. Smith for 3 now. This is going to hurt if she can nail it, and it's no good, but Del Santo fighting underneath the basket with her and Rice. Man, it's a battle of the bigs. Del Santo had the battle with Berry first. Now she has to deal with Rice. It's just basically a brawl underneath there when the shot goes up.
Well, it does, and even in that case, I think Kelsey went in to give her some more contact. I don't even know if Del Santo was boxing out, but I do know that I appreciate that effort by Kelsey Rice, because that's when you can get offensive rebounds, which is her forte, that helps your offense out so much to get those second chances.
Del Santo finally ends the drought and knocks down her first free throw, and that cuts the lead to a single digits.
Well, PEI needs to stop here. They've got trying to stop stop penetration. They do that. If they can score here, there's that thing about being under 10 points. 10 points is different than 9. So if they can get under 10 going into half, it'll make them feel very good, because this isn't their best half that they just had.
Baxendale in tight to Del Santo, and that was huge. The freshman breaking down the defense, and the pocket pass in tight to Del Santo. Good catch, good finish off the glass.
They need a stop right here. They need a stop. It's good team defense. If they can get a stop, they can go into halftime feeling good.
Bang, and Hat says she's not having it, and she knocks down the triple from beyond the arc. Back up to a 10-point lead. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ellsworth, spin move, in tight, and that's off the glass. A beautiful move and finish at the cup for Ellsworth, and that'll do it. The Axe women with the lead. It's an 8-point lead, and you spoke about it just before the gun. They needed to be a single-digit deficit, the Panthers that is, not a 10, to feel really good about those chances in the second half.
Well, yeah, it's a psychological thing. So when they say you're down double digits, that's 10 points, 12 points, whatever. But when you're in 8, I think Greg can go in halftime and say, hey, you know, after playing 2 games, and kudos for winning the quarterfinals, semifinals, that wasn't our best half. So they can now have a rest and come back out. Thank heavens for Jane McLaughlin, who helped them out to get them to this point.
Let's go down courtside to Alan April, who's standing by with the head coach of the Acadia Axe women, Len Harvey. Alan?
Thanks, guys. Coach Harvey, Allie Berry was very effective until she picked up her 3rd personal foul. How does that change your game plan heading into the second half?
It changed our game plan at the end of the first half. I don't know if it changes it too much right now. It's I think the foul count was 11-3, I think, in that quarter, 10-3 maybe, but again, it's discipline. We need some more balance. We're just not shooting the ball in rhythm right now for some reason.
And for UPEI, Reese Baxendale's been the story this weekend. 54 points in the first 2 games. You held her to 1 point in the first half. What was the key to shutting her down? And we also noticed Paloma is taking that matchup on personally.
Well, it's that matchup. We shouted her. She's not going to be the story. Rookie's not going to be the story today. So,
okay, thanks, Coach, and best of luck in the second half. And right now, step aside, but we'll be back with some more halftime analysis. You're watching the AUS Women's Basketball Championship Final on TV1.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Finally, a non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer. Introducing Budweiser Prohibition Brew.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Ross from the Acadia Axe Women. Thank you for supporting university sport. Please have fun, but stay safe. This message is brought to you Budweiser Prohibition, the zero alcohol beer that actually tastes like beer. Thanks everyone, enjoy freely.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak, topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
Support AUS men's hockey teams as they battle for the Cavendish Farms Coupe U Cup. For tickets, visit vreds.ca/tickets or call the AUC box office.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Center for the AUS Championship Final. The Acadia Axe women leading at the half, 37-29. Vince Williams, Augie Jones on hand, and Alan April standing by. Let's take a quick look of the storyline after 20 minutes, Augie.
Well, it's the defense of Acadia, and also it's a little bit of I think a little bit of a fatigue thing too. 3 games in 3 days. I know we're saying it over and over again, but it is a factor. Right now, they're holding them to 24%, which is, that's not very good. And they're out rebounding them. They're out being more physical. And so it's a good rest for PEI to come back and hopefully be energized. Allie Berry, 14 points, 12 rebounds first half.
Let's go courtside with Alan April, who's standing by with our halftime guests. Alan?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm here with UPEI's athletic director, Chris Huggan. Chris, thanks for joining me. Your thoughts on the first half?
It was a good half, both teams. Acadia executed a little better than we did. I guess a little bit of inexperience showed, little jitters early, but I think they calmed down, and to be down at 8, it's a position, hopefully we'll have an exciting second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were just talking a little bit about the UPEI women's team. Really interesting mix of representation. So there's 5 Islanders, including 3 starters. Talk a little bit about what, Kira Rigby, Jane McLaughlin, Jenna May Ellsworth, what they mean for girls basketball in the community and on the island.
I really believe, for any of the smaller schools that are community-based, having representation from the communities is so important. And if you look at the history of our greatest successes at UPEI, they were the core had a large group of island representation. So when you look at Kiera in particular as a 5th year, and Jane and Jenna May, they've been known in the community for years, coming through the junior high and high school ranks. Now to represent at the university level, they've got a natural following from people in the community. The number of kids that come to our games, showcasing the number 13 for Kiera, and they're great role models. They really are. So it's extremely important. And for everyone playing high school ball and junior high school ball, we certainly hope they aspire to be UPEI Panthers.
All right, Chris. Well, best of luck to the Panthers in the second half. Right now, we're going to step aside, but we'll be back with more halftime analysis and, of course, the second half of the AUS Women's Basketball Championship Final on TV1.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology, so you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Finally, a non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer. Introducing Budweiser Prohibition Brew.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Ross from the Acadia Axe Women. Thank you for supporting university sport. Please have fun, but stay safe. This message is brought to you Budweiser Prohibition, the zero alcohol beer that actually tastes like beer. Thanks everyone, enjoy freely.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
Support AUS men's hockey teams as they battle for the Cavendish Farms Coupe U Cup. For tickets, visit vreds.ca/tickets or call the AUC box office.
everyone. I'm Katie Ross from the Acadia Axwomen. Thank you for supporting university sport. Please have fun, but stay safe. This message is brought to you Budweiser Prohibition, the zero alcohol beer that actually tastes like beer. Thanks everyone, enjoy freely.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Finally, a non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer. Introducing Budweiser Prohibition Brew.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak, topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
Welcome back to TV1's coverage of the 2018 AUS Women's Basketball Championships. After the first half, the Acadia Axwomen lead the UPEI Panthers 37-29. I'm here now with UPEI Panthers coach Greg Gould. Coach Gould, offensive rebounding was an issue for your team in that first half. The Axwomen had 13 offensive rebounds. How do you keep them off the offensive glass?
Box them out.
Okay, and I have to ask about fatigue. After playing 2 games in 48 hours, really leaning on 6 or 7 players heavily, is fatigue a factor for your team going forward in this second half?
Championship game, you don't think about being tired in championship game.
Okay, best of luck in the second half, Coach. And now I'm going to send it back to Vince and Augie in the booth. Guys.
Thanks a lot there, Alan. The numbers you can see here after 20 minutes, the Axwomen leading 37-29. And if you look at the numbers there, Augie, almost pretty much even there, but there is something that's glaring to you, and you want to point it out for us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, for me, there's a, when you're playing, you have this balance between being fundamental and being physical. Like, because the game, they say it's non-contact, but it is a contact sport. So if you look at the 36 rebounds, right now between Allie Berry and Kelsey Rice, the effort and the physicality, legal physicality, underneath the basket is a big difference, because think about it, you run your offense, you run it for 18 seconds out of 24, you take a shot, and right now Acadia is shooting 31%, but if you add the offensive rebounds, that's why they have 44 attempts versus 37. These are the differences, offensive rebounds, and at this point right now, you know, Acadia has 13 offensive rebounds in the first half. That's a lot.
And the next game coming up following the women, the men will take to the hardwood in the championship final at 4:30 p.m. The St. Francis Xavier X-Men and the UNB Varsity Reds, the X-Men, have to be the upstarts and the underdogs versus the #1 seed in the AUS, the Varsity Reds.
Yeah, go X go, but then again, Brent Baker's an X-Men, you know, so, and you want to know what? I'm impartial. I love all the coaches. I love all the teams, and I'm supporting the AUS as a whole, so, you know, Javon Masters and what UMB's done, and so, yeah, of course, I go to X, but I'm cheering for a very good game. I don't know who's a favorite in that game. I think UMB's favored, but X is playing really good, but I'm just looking forward to watching the game. Great job by UMB, and great job by Coach Konchowski in his 40th year in this building.
Should be an exciting finish to the men's bracket coming up next, but we got a long way to go to get there in this one, though. 2 quarters left, 20 minutes, the championship on hand. One of these teams are going home with the title. The number 3 team in the nation has won this title twice, the last coming in 2011, 2012. And the Panthers looking for their 6th championship title. So a new championship, a new champion ready to be crowned in the women's AUS basketball. And right now, Acadia with control to start the 3rd. Inside, Barry, and that shot is blocked, so right off the bat, Del Santo is tested, and she steps up and makes a block there defensively. Rigby inside and knocks it away, and a scramble, shot clock dwindling and expires. So shot clock violation. To start the half for the Axe women, it's Anderson, McDonald, Ross, Smith, and Barry. For the Panthers, it's Ellsworth, Rigby, Baxendale, McLaughlin, and Del Santo.
And there's
Smith,
a storyline in this too.
In and out.
Storyline around the national ranking. So Carleton wins their division or their conference. Regina wins their conference. So Acadia has to win this game to get to the nationals because well, actually no. They have a chance, at the wild card if the win or lose because they're 3rd in the country.
Absolutely.
Number 1 and number 2 have gone through. So, and
That'd
right
be
now,
a great gift if both of them got through.
well, and it could happen. But of course, Acadia wants to win the banner.
Absolutely.
But they do have a chance if they don't win the banner to get the wild card.
So the Panthers looking to punch their ticket to the Nationals next weekend in Regina.
Nice pass.
Smith, the beneficiary of that beautiful bounce pass through the paint by Ross, and Smith makes no mistake getting off the glass, and Chanel Smith has 7 now.
I also think that's the thing about multi-sport because Katie Ross, being a varsity soccer player, that was an angle that you would pass to someone on the soccer field, and it was a perfect pass to Chanel for the layup.
3 ball by Ellsworth's no good. Rebound by McDonald. Back the other way come the Axe women with a 10-point lead. Smith swings it to Ross. Ross looking inside to Barry. Barry faces up Del Santo. Going to work with the right hand. Spin move, fade away, good. Beautiful patience on that one-on-one by Barry, and she continuing to be outstanding.
Well, the body language by Carolina Del Santo right now is she's getting frustrated every time Ali scores, and she's not playing the greatest defense. Yet again, if you look at Paloma Anderson, even there, Reese scores, but Paloma doesn't put her head down, in body language kind of sook about it because she didn't stop her. So there's a sense right now where, Del Santo being the defensive player of the year has to get a little more positive and a little more focused on stopping Ali Berry.
A tough pass there to Smith, trying to hit Barry in tight. And back the other way comes Ellsworth, and she draws the foul.
Ali Berry's 4th.
And that's a huge moment right now as Barry is going straight to the bench, and checking in is Kelsey Rice.
Yeah, that really helps UPEI because if you saw from the beginning of the second half, it was Ali Berry who was, again, causing problems. And, I'm sure that PEI is happy to see she's got her 4th with 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Ali's going to have to sit for a bit.
Ellsworth knocks down 2. And how much of a relief is that for Del Santo? Now she really needs to pick up her game.
She does.
Anderson kicked out to end McDonald, and that rattled in and out. Went halfway down and came right back out. The spin on that 3 ball.
It looked good because if you look at her shooting form, and she's a beautiful shooter, because we often talk about shooting form, she's got nice arc on it. It actually went in the cylinder and then rolled out.
And Anderson's 3 is short. Rebound by Del Santo. Baxendale racing back the other way.
You know, on defense, Vince, we want to make it hard for people to score. And even though Reese scored that last possession, Paloma's making it very difficult for her to score. And that's all you can ask as a coach.
And McDonald gets in and splits the defense and finishes with the left hand. And off to the races in transition. Beautiful stretch pass there by Ellsworth, hitting Rigby. And Rigby had no problems finishing with the left hand on the glass. 8-point lead. Panthers trying to desperately get this on even terms. McDonald, closely guarded by Baxendale.
Good
Dribble
defense.
hand off to Anderson. Anderson gets stripped by Ellsworth. Great defensive play. Ellsworth in transition to Baxendale. And Baxendale drives the rim and gets knocked out of bounds by Smith.
Yeah, we're starting to see both teams play pretty good defense. Reese is on the ball. That's great on-the-ball defense. And Jenna May, again, this isn't a foul. Actually, Paloma lost the ball, and Jenna May picks it up on the steal. Great defense by PEI.
Rigby, right hand. That's a tough shot, draws the contact, no call coming. She hits the deck, but it will remain Panthers' possession. There's several substitutions by the Panthers, and we have a stoppage in play.
Yeah, they want to check the shot clock, so
shot clock was reset. And
it should go to 14. It doesn't. You don't get a full 24-second, and they're actually checking to see what was the shot clock time when it did actually go out. They moved it back to 11 seconds. The PEI has to score.
Yepes in now for the Panthers. Kicks it to Baxendale. She loses the handle, gets bottled up. McLaughlin now, she loses the handle. Back the other way is McDonald. McDonald to Anderson, draws the double team, and she throws it away.
Yeah.
Good defensive play there by the Panthers, hustling, getting back on transition.
Yeah, that's great transition defense, as you say. And that means transition means sprint back and get ready to guard. And really, Acadia had the advantage, and PEI played good enough defense to quell that advantage.
Anderson with the steal. Nice move by Ross. Beautiful crossover right in the face of Rigby, and finishes with the right hand.
We're still hovering around that 10-point lead. And PEI gets close to getting into it, and then, you know, there's a score by Acadia, and that's partly the strength of Acadia. They really keep coming at you for 40 minutes. They've got a lot of different looks, a lot of different people that can score.
Anderson's jump shot's no good.
Kelsey Rice.
Rice with the rebound. The Axe women average 86 points per game in the regular season. Subway is the place to go to create a sandwich masterpiece. Build your sandwich the way you want to. Subway, the official fuel of the AUS. So timeout on the floor. Both teams want to talk things over here. A 10-point lead for the Axe women, and you mentioned just before that timeout, the ebb and flow, up and down, back and forth. Just when the Panthers make a little bit of a run, the Axe women always seem to have an answer in this game.
Well, they do, because the answer is not one person. So Paloma Anderson is MVP of the league, but yet Katie Ross is scoring, Haley McDonald is scoring. It's a mix, it's a balance. So you look at the third quarter right now, you know, this is a headman up the sideline, Katie Ross. That's a beautiful bounce pass. That's team basketball. This again, sprint down. They're lucky that Allie's out the game right now. That's a turnaround jump shot. And then now they're pushing. Haley with the hesitation through the middle, left-handed finish. Again, those are three different people scoring. And then here's your fourth person scoring. That's why Katie is number 3 in the country.
Devastating crossover, crossing in the face of Rigby there by Ross. And with no hesitation with the right hand off the glass. And they are on a roll right now. And the Panthers need to have that answer right now coming out of this timeout.
Well, it's
a pivotal part of this game in the second half.
Well, they do. And if you notice, when they did get on a little bit of run, it was Jane McLaughlin because someone else besides Baxendale and Ellsworth, and also similar to football, when you got that shutdown corner stopping your wide receiver, which is what's going on with Paloma and Reese, you need to throw the ball to someone else. And so someone else at PEI has to step up and hit some shots. We're still kind of waiting on Kara Rigby. It might be Yepes. She hasn't really scored like she did yesterday. But Reese is on a certain amount of lockdown right now because of Paloma's defense.
Rice goes 1 and 2 from the line in her first trip, as Rice gets finally on the board with her first point. But she's got 8 rebounds, and she's been a force inside the paint. And right there, she gets that one.
And that's her 9th. And you know what? Do you say, how does she get so many rebounds? She goes for them. She's around the ball. She hustles. She puts effort into it. Because to get rebounds, you got to go for 20 rebounds to get 10. There's going to be 10 of them you don't get. And are you willing to go 20 times to get them? And she is.
Had a good look down the other end, just couldn't finish. Yepes now to Baxendale. Baxendale closely guarded by Anderson. Baxendale pull up 3. That was a tough shot from beyond the arc, forced by the MVP. McDonald. McDonald down the baseline, in tight to Ross. Ross comes out with it, kicks it inside to Smith. Smith left hand, that was a wild shot at the rim. Not sure if she even saw the rim at all. Nevertheless, Baxendale comes back the other way. Yepes taking her time to Baxendale. Baxendale cutting off the screen, and Yepes is called for the moving screen.
Yeah, you've got to be set when you're, setting a screen. Yeah, she puts her kind of shoulder into her a little bit. You cannot, a lot of sports you're not allowed to set screens. In basketball, you're allowed to set screens, but you've got to be set. And that same thing I said about the cylinder, you can't move your shoulder out of your natural position. Everything's got to be within your cylinder, and Yepes came out of that cylinder.
Hat checks into the game for the Axe women. 3 balls no good by Ross. Baxendale back the other way. Baxendale splits the D. Beautiful pass and finish at the rim. No mistake by Rigby. But Baxendale, I tell you, I haven't seen a better girl perform, a woman that is, perform here at the AUS level in these championships in transition, making decisions outside of Paloma Anderson.
Well, yeah, she's like energetic. She is very, let's say, aggressive when it comes to scoring. And if you're aggressive, more people come to you and you're able to make passes like she did to Kara Rigby.
Del Santo getting position there.
That's what makes her Defensive Player of the Year. She's got long arms, she gets great position, and she gets to stop there.
Rigby drives the rim, and his last touch by, looked like Ross with the block. Rigby wanted the contact, none coming. 3:12 left in the third. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Ellsworth were inbound the basketball. Ellsworth having trouble getting it in. Baxendale comes up with it, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. I tell you, Reese Baxendale puts a lot of pressure on the opposition once she breaks down her defender.
Well, you want to be aggressive, so that's not like, do you reach? Yes, that's a foul. And Kelsey Rice is not even complaining, because she reached in. If you reach in, you don't have position, that's a foul.
And that's a huge foul, because that's Kelsey Rice's 4th. So and now you got both bigs not on the floor for the Axe women. And now you pretty much got a lineup of guards and small forwards.
Well, you want to know what? This game is far from over, people. Like, when you've got Allie Berry and Kelsey Rice, who have been so significant to this game, both of them still have this. We're only in the third quarter. We're 3 minutes left in the third quarter. We have a whole fourth quarter to go, and those two have to sit at least until the second half of the fourth quarter.
That's crazy, and an opportunity here, a little crack, a little window for the Panthers. Panthers in a 3-2 zone now.
And that worked for them yesterday.
Movement, great ball movement. McDonald for 3, had a good look from the corner. Smith with the rebound, left hand, counted. Chanel Smith, great positioning underneath the basket, coming up with that rebound and finishing through the contact.
Yeah, and again, you've got to be physical and box out, and even for someone that's shorter than you, you just allowed Chanel to get, if you notice, even with the Allie Berry offensive rebounds, look where Chanel is. She is closer to the basket than Del Santo. So she's got a better position. She's able to get the rebound and finish.
In a 3-2 zone, what do? You teach the person on the bottom two in the zone,
yes,
you got to look for cutters. You got to bump the cutters and know that when a shot goes up, there's going to be some bodies going towards the paint.
Yeah, that's a great point, because in zone, think about it, you're not guarding a particular person, so your box out could be anyone. So based on the zone principles, Del Santo had to box out Chanel. That's not the person she's guarding, but if it was man-to-man, but in zone, that was the person in her area.
Ellsworth answers, but Chanel, bang, knocks down that corner three. I tell you, the Halifax native is showing up in this final game. But right back the other way is Ellsworth, and count it, and she'll go to the line at a chance to convert the three-point play.
Listen, what I love the most about Ellsworth and Baxendale, they're gritty, man. This is grit. So Chanel just hit a three. Okay, you hit a three, guard me. And really, Hat gets the foul. But I like that PEI does not stop coming. They're going to keep coming. They're not worried about fatigue, as Coach Greg Gould said. It's a championship game. We're not tired. And they're just grinding. And you know what? They got a little bit on their side, even though they're down 10. You know, they've got a lot of pieces for Acadia are out.
And Anderson hits the deck as Ellsworth's called for the personal. Under 2 minutes there, 1:56 left.
Yeah, that's you see the movement right now. Paloma comes down the middle. Not bad, except, you know, once Paloma makes that counter move, it's a great call on the foul, because she was fouled by Ellsworth.
Smith once again inside, can't get it to go on McLaughlin. McLaughlin with the rebound. Baxendale coming back the other way.
And do you notice how many times Baxendale has to back out of her drive because Paloma gets there and makes her rethink it? The times that she had 30 points and 24 points the last 2 days.
Straight line.
Yeah, straight line. A lot of people did not cut her off. So in defensive transition, get back, get in stance, and even though Reese repositioned that last possession and got to the goal, her initial penetration was stopped.
You got to give it to the MVP, first team AUS, Paloma Anderson. Not really looking for offense too much. When given the opportunity, she takes advantage of it, but she knows that her #1 assignment is neutralizing Baxendale on this one.
Yes.
Hat now, dribble handoff to Smith. Smith has been aggressive in the third, and she finishes. Chanel Smith is absolutely on fire offensively for the Axe women. 12-point game for the Axe women now. Rigby for three. That shot is too strong. Rebound by McDonald. No rebounders in there for the Panthers. Under a minute now. 12-point lead. McDonald inside. That's knocked away there by McLaughlin. And a chance here for the Panthers.
Well, if you look at Acadia right now, they have 5 guards on the floor. So Ellen Hatt was playing the 5. Didn't have great position because she's not really a post. And so she didn't have position, and the ball got knocked away from her.
Oh, Euro step on full display there by Anderson. Couldn't finish at the rim. A tie-up ensues. And I tell you, they got lucky there, but that was textbook Euro step by Anderson in transition.
Well, that'll make your shorts fall down. Like that's just, that'll get you. But if you notice, what I love about the women's game after that, as soon as Paloma falls, Ellsworth picks her up. She taps Ellsworth on the butt, tells her thanks very much. You know, there's intensity, but there's sportsmanship mixed together. I love that.
Outstanding sportsmanship all weekend long. Last shot here held by the Panthers, and Rigsby's shot is blocked there, so another great defensive play for the Axe women. Anderson racing back the other way, and at the gun, bang, and it's no good. So that'll do it after 3. 54-42, Axe women lead. We'll be back with more from Scotiabank Center after these messages.
Support AUS men's hockey teams as they battle for the Cavendish Farms Coupe U Cup. For tickets, visit vreds.ca/tickets or call the AUC box office.
Welcome back to TV1's coverage of the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Basketball Championships. The Acadia Axwomen lead the UPEI Panthers 54-42 heading into the fourth quarter, and I'm here now with Acadia Axwomen veteran guard forward Thomas Johnston. Thomas, you guys obviously had a tough loss in the quarterfinal Friday night, but you're going to be playing on till Nationals next week as the host. What do you need to do this week to prepare for Nationals?
Honestly, I think all we have to do is just have a good week of practice again like we have been doing all year. Stay focused. Realistically, we're probably going to be playing Carleton. We played them once earlier this year at their own gymnasium, so kind of know what to expect a little bit, but realistically, a lot of our guys have been there before, myself, Reese Larry, so you know what to expect. We're used to playing under the bright lights here at the Scotiabank Center, so literally just stay focused and get at it.
Great. Well, good luck at Nationals next week, Thomas, and good luck to the Axwomen in the fourth quarter. Going to send it back now to Vince and Augie in the booth. Guys.
Thanks, Alan. Let's take a look at the numbers in that third quarter. I tell you what, number 7, Chanel Smith, was outstanding. In the 9 minutes, she had 10 points. After 20 minutes, she had 5 points, and she got it done on the offensive end in the absence of Barry.
Yeah, she definitely did, and I think that, you know, that's what you need, and it's the mix of Acadia being able to mix it up. Ellen Hatt hits her second three. You know, there's just a lot of people that you have to stop when you play Acadia.
Hatt knocks down the triple from beyond the arc to start this fourth, and that is the start that head coach Len Harvey was looking for, trying to win his first championship. So a tie-up and possession arrow favoring the Panthers. Rigby, blow by, right hand, finish. That was a good move by Kira Rigby with the quick step and finish at the rim.
Well, it's a better move for her because if you notice when she split it, she got free and did a layup. There's a lot of times she's missing shots where she's not open and she's shooting it against 3 people. In those cases,
oh wow! And you gotta
pass the ball.
Huge play, but Paloma Anderson remains on the floor. But that was an outstanding strength and agility displayed by the MVP. She is down and she hit the deck and there was not much cushion there. And she is down now. Right now she's being attended by the medical staff of the Axwomen, and let's hope that Paloma's okay here.
I think she fell on her left shoulder, and you know, if we can get another look at that. But her feet got pulled out from under her, and you know, what a finish. And her athleticism almost worked against her there because she went up and squared herself in the air, but found it very difficult to get her feet.
And let's take another look here at the positioning.
Good sign.
Coming up. She's getting up on her feet under her own strength. And let's take a look.
Oh, more on her hip.
Is tough.
It looked like she fell on her left hip. But when you're up that high and you come down, it's good for Acadia. And listen, Paloma's tough, man. I love to see her bounce back.
Tough as
what
nails.
A finish.
Tough as nails is the senior from Phoenix, Arizona. And checking in to shoot the free throws will be Barry. And waiting at the table, it looks like Kelsey Rice will probably come right back in for her if she's successful knocking down these free throws. Or the one, excuse me. It's no good. So Barry remains in the game. Rice has to wait. McLaughlin, and she's called for the travel. But that was a good defensive play, stepping up and not giving any space and time by Haley McDonald.
Well, a lot of times we'll tell people in transition to have their back to the sideline so they can see who's in front of them. At that point, Jane really didn't see Haley there, and she ends up traveling.
So Rice checks in for Barry. Hatt now. Hatt with the Euro step and right hand finish. I'm telling you what, me and you are not inside Len Harvey's practices, but that Euro step has been devastating by a multiple number of players this afternoon.
Well, and really, if you break it down, it's just taking 2 steps instead of going north-south. Make your steps go east-west, you know, and if you think about it, Ellen Hatt coming off the bench right now, and she's got 8 points off the bench. PEI has 0 points from the bench.
Was huge yesterday afternoon in winning that one against the Cape Breton Capers, and Anderson back into the game, and the crowd gets on their feet along with
Look
her
at that
teammates.
defense. Look at that defense. Look at that defense,
just like
man.
she never left. And tenacious defense on Baxendale. Baxendale, though, with a second chance opportunity, and Greg Gould jumps off the bench, the head coach of the Panthers. Thought there was some contact there initiated by Paloma on that drive.
But you want to know what? When you're down in stance like that, look at that stance. Look how low she is. The low person wins. She's low, she's low. The referees will give you the benefit of doubt if you're fighting like that. That's not a foul. That's great defense. That's not a foul.
You can see just the sheer determination on the face of Reese Baxendale's face. Smith swings it. The Ross, the hat now. Back to McDonald. McDonald, nice hesitation. Baxendale was looking for a push-off, and McDonald knocks down the fadeaway. 63-44. Things are starting to get undone here for the Panthers. Ellsworth, left hand, beautiful spin move in traffic, and she was able to finish at the rim. And they need a few stops here defensively. 7:48 left in the fourth. Lots of time, but it has to come now, and that'll help right there as Paloma Anderson loses the handle, and it knocks it off her own foot. And Del Santo will go to the bench, and Yepes will check in.
You know, the
Panthers
thing
looking
about
for a
breaking
spark,
into
Augie.
breaking into a lead like this, Vince, is that you've got to not only make shots, but then you got to go back and get a stop down the other end. And so
that's been tough.
That's the tough part.
McDonald, right hand. Good defensive play there. Cutting her off the rim was Rigby. Ellsworth, she crosses the timeline. Full head of steam, right hand. Can't finish. Lots of contact, no foul coming.
She's
Ross,
tired.
the rebound.
Ellsworth is tired at this point.
Anderson crosses the timeline.
And that's why she wasn't guarding Katie Ross. She wasn't.
And Ross had a good opportunity and missed it.
Yeah, she's tired.
Rigby. And Rigby's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. Anderson's not happy now at that call.
Well, they gave her the benefit of the doubt on the Baxendale drive. On that particular drive, there was contact on that.
Panthers want a timeout as head coach Greg Gould wants to talk things over. Let's go courtside with Alan April. Alan, what you got for us?
Thanks, Vince. Well, as you guys discussed a little bit yesterday, Paloma Anderson was originally recruited to Acadia by legendary head coach Bev Greenlaw. But when Greenlaw retired following the 2015 season, Anderson wasn't sure she wanted to stick around through a coaching change and nearly left the program. Acadia Athletic Director Kevin Dickey had a heart-to-heart discussion with Anderson and told her that great things could await if she stuck it out. And incoming coach Len Harvey and Anderson quickly formed a bond, and the rest is really history. Less than 3 years, 2 conference MVPs later, Anderson is playing in her second straight final and just over 6 minutes away from a trip to nationals. And Kevin Dickey's prediction came true. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alan. Great stuff there on Paloma Anderson, the Phoenix, Arizona senior. And you can see that she wants this one, Augie. 5 for 14 from the field. She's got 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 10 points. That's an outstanding stat line, but it's been her defense that's been the difference, neutralizing the freshman from Sussex, New Brunswick, Reese Baxendale.
Well, she has, and defense looks like effort. It looks like getting low. It looks like, when you get in a stance, it looks like you care. If you don't get in stance, you don't care. So she looks like she cares, but the other thing is she's coachable. You saw in the timeout, when someone's giving you their full attention with their eyes, and she's listening to Len, she's not overconfident, she's not arrogant, she's 2-time MVP, but she's still humble enough to give love to other players. She's humble enough to listen to the coach and be coached. The game plan today was, hey, Paloma, we need you to go in there and stop Baxendale. Well, she's following the game plan. She's doing what's being asked of her.
Rigby knocks down 1 of 2. 63-47 now. Panthers desperately need some stops here. McDonald, kick out. Ross for 3. Too strong, but she gets her own rebound.
Offensive rebounds hurt after you play defense and you force a bad shot. And for them to get another chance right away.
And there it is. That hurts. The 18th offensive rebound comes back to bite the Panthers, and it's an 18-point lead now. McLaughlin forces the foul on McDonald, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. And coming up next after this one, with 6:25 left, the men will take to the hardwood in the championship Sunday for them. 4:30 p.m. start. The X-Men, versus the Varsity Reds. And that should be a dandy as well. So lots of heavy lifting left for the Panthers. McLaughlin makes both. Looking for a stop down here on the other end. Anderson crossed the timeline. Gives it to Hatt. Back to Anderson. Anderson down the left side, and that's a tough finish. And Anderson converts, and she's got 12. And count it for Ellsworth. She was able to get in tight and force the foul on Ellen Hatt. As the Boo Birds raining down through the crowd, the X-Men.
Let's look at it in slow motion. You want to know what? Ellen was there, and instead of standing still, she twisted her body a little bit. Had she stood still, that's great help defense, and it would have been a charge. But up top, she moved her body just slightly. Good call by the referee.
Ellsworth unable to convert. And a stop in play here, and it looks like a push. 5:59 left, 18 seconds on the shot clock. Ross will inbound. Anderson on Yepes. Yepes with 3 personals now. McDonald, that shot is blocked by Yepes. She raced over into the corner and knocked that one right into the Axe women bench.
9 seconds on the shot clock.
Ross now in tight, nice pass. Rice can't convert at the rim.
You know, one of the things about Kelsey being out since November is she hasn't finished well this weekend, that's for sure, and that's expected. But her effort and her ability to get offensive rebounds and rebound the ball and play interior defense has been outstanding. But she hasn't really shot a good percentage and missed a lot of bunnies this weekend.
And look out, Barry's back into the game.
There's an offensive rebound again.
Bang, and that offensive rebound, number 20, comes up dividends again from downtown. McDonald connects. Yepes steps into a 3, can't convert, and Rice again with the hustle play, scoops up the rebound.
You know, we're at the 5-minute mark. Katie is up 20. You know, I think Len's going to stick with his starters and let them run this out and you know, celebrate the fact that they worked so hard to get here. I think, again, for Greg, it might be a different situation. He's got 0 points off the bench, and he hasn't even subbed anyone besides 2. And what do you do with 5 minutes left? What do you do with 5 minutes left? You know, of course, Ellsworth is fighting like crazy. I get that, but you're down 18. And do you give your younger players, you know, on the bench a chance to play in this venue? I think Greg's going to have to make that decision, you know, in the next couple minutes.
As Ellsworth gets the block, some contact after it as Anderson once again hits the floor. Yepes will go to the bench. Del Santo will come in. Rice as well will go to the bench for the Axe women. And Chanel Smith will check in. McDonald inbound. Barry, left hand, finish. It's just the beat continuing to go on. Barry, outstanding game in the final. She didn't leave anything on the floor. The senior from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Del Santo trying to back in Barry, and she's called for too many steps.
Yeah, real frustrating day for Del Santo all the way around. You know, just hasn't. But you want to know what? Her body language from the beginning was like very, oh gosh, and I can't believe this is happening from the very beginning, and Allie's taking advantage of that. I think that you see the body language that Paloma puts on defense where she's in it and she's positively energetic. I think you've got to do that whether you're in the post or on the perimeter.
Let's go courtside to Alan. April, Alan, what you got for us?
Thanks, Vince. Well, followers of Acadia women's basketball over the past couple years know the legend of Len Harvey's jacket. It's got its own Twitter account. When the game gets intense, Harvey's jacket comes off, and it came off in this game midway through the third quarter when UPEI cut Acadia's lead to 8. since then, the Axe women have gone on a 28-12 run. And once that jacket comes off, it's not going back on. It means the game's intense, and it's looking like that jacket is going to be packed away and making a flight to Regina this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Alan. Thanks for that good tidbit. I tell you what, 18 times that jacket has came off in the regular season.
Yeah.
18-2. So we've seen that jacket either get tossed on the back of his chair or tossed off in the back of the front row at either the venue at Acadia or on the road. But man, this team has been outstanding.
Well, we want him to take his jacket off. When he's playing us, we want the jacket off.
We want the jacket off. That means
force him to take the jacket off.
They're fighting. They're fighting. The jacket's on, and he's just, laid back, and he knows things are under control.
Yeah, he's up too many then. But, at this point, for PEI, been outstanding. It's not over yet, don't get me wrong, but what a weekend of basketball they had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to really maintain this approach against a team like Acadia, my God, Jenna Mays just keep fighting and fighting.
Ellsworth.
But, just their courageousness to stick in this. And with Acadia, they have so many weapons. And honestly, PEI doesn't have that many weapons. And also you're playing, you're going into your 120th minute of basketball in 3 days. That's a lot.
Smith now, hesitation inside the Barry. Barry loses the handle, knocked away by Del Santo. Spin move, McLaughlin. Rigby for three. It's no good. Anderson with the rebound. Paloma, finish, right hand. She's got 16. Sweet music all afternoon long by Paloma Anderson. Rigby. Del Santo, kick out to McLaughlin. Shots deflected by McDonald. And once again, the defensive tenacity showing up for the Axe women.
And part of this too, I think, lots of respect to PEI, because I can say for my team, we didn't even get to the playoffs, and I think the teams that were in the playoffs are not playing today. So PEI, things are kind of not looking so great with 3 minutes left, down 20. But much respect to Greg Gould and the Panthers. They did their university proud. They're still here fighting that last 3 minutes, and that's great to see. But it would be a lot to ask to go up and play the number 3 team in the country after playing a game on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And think about this, viewers who are checking it out. We never play 3 games in a row. Like in our league, we play 1 game, maybe 2 in a row, maybe, but 3 in a row we hardly ever do that besides in the preseason. So in order for you to win a championship by winning 3 in a row, very tough task.
Well, the face of a fierce competitor right there, Paloma Anderson. She raced back the other way on a 1-on-4, crossed over 2 Panthers, got to the rim, almost made it go. And she is not giving up, continuing the fight till the final gun.
And people would say that maybe Len should be subbing, but you want to know what? For as much as this team's been through, before Paloma came, they were 0-8, and that is Katie Ross, that is Chanel, that is Allie Berry.
Smith, right
so
on
he's
cue.
letting them savor this thing. They waited so long, they worked so hard to get here, that he's not subbing in the rookies or some of the other group. They got to handle themselves next year. But for right now, he's letting this older group feel it and celebrate themselves in the last final minutes of a 20-point win.
Under 2 minutes to go here for the number 3 team in the nation to capture the AUS title heading into the Nationals next weekend in Regina. There's multiple substitutions here for the Panthers. Beautiful embrace between head coach Greg Gould and senior Kira Rigby playing in her last collegiate game.
And we had the storyline of her mom, playing on the last team that PEI won with. And I thought that Kira, and her dad played for UMB, and she had a great 5-year career and really developed. But it goes to show you, we can only have 1 winner, and there's more teams that lost this year than won. There's going to be 1 winner. Paloma Anderson continues, and that's also stamina. Yeah. If you notice, we're down to the end of the tournament, and Paloma's still on 4 bars.
Full motor.
She's ready to go.
The motor is continuing. The beat goes on.
Yep.
The 2 seniors have been outstanding. Paloma Anderson and Barry. Barry 9 for 12 from the field, 20 points. Paloma Anderson with 18. And Jane McLaughlin checking out for the Panthers, playing her last collegiate game for the University of Prince Edward Island. And she had an outstanding tournament as well. Barry now, fade away, it's short at the rim, rebound by Campbell. Baxendale tries to find Caron. Kick out, Ellsworth, spin move, baseline jumper, short, rebound by Ross.
40 seconds.
40 seconds and counting. And the crowd getting to their feet as the Axe women will win their first championship, the third since 2011-2012. And a great embrace between the sophomore and the senior, as you can see the tears on Paloma Anderson's face. Just sheer jubilation for the senior from Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, man, I feel her. You know, it's been, you know, a journey and a growth process, and you know, they've been wanting this to happen and working towards it. And
How
to meet
special
your goal,
is this moment right now?
Yeah, it's special for her, and she put a lot of heart and soul into this. This is not somebody that took this lightly, and also Acadia's really made a change in her life. Canada's made a change in her life. You know, and you know, there's our trophy, and
there it is.
I want that
The
trophy.
championship
You know, everybody
trophy.
wants that trophy that's
Well
coaching
on
and playing.
by
And
Halifax's spot.
Congratulations to Acadia. They've done our conference proud. We'll all be cheering them on in Regina. They've been, you know, the cream
They got
of
a
the
real
crop.
chance. They got a real chance. They're the number 3 team in the nation, and I think this team, the way it's built, the way they play, they have a realistic chance of winning a national championship.
Well, yeah, in the preseason, you know,
They're no slouch.
they played number 5 Queens in the preseason and beat them by 40. You know, and obviously that's early in the year, but they played some tough teams from around the country, and they played real well against them.
Great basketball here at the Scotiabank Center in the last 3 days. This has been a very intense bracket, the women's side, and there it is. The 2017-2018 Subway AUS champions, the Acadia Axe women. The pictures tell it all there, Augie. Not much you can say. You can just see it's just been a long road for this program to get to this moment, and they made sure that they finished the job.
Yeah, you know, congratulations to Greg Gould and, you know, his PEI Panthers. I mean, they've been so impressive since, you know, Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and today. You know, but we kind of knew that it was going to be a real tough task for anyone to knock off Acadia, and they just looked too strong in too many areas. And, you know, Len Harvey, the Acadia Axe women, Paloma Anderson, Allie Berry, you know, Chanel Smith, all of them. And to be honest, you know, for Wade Smith to be in the building somehow and see his niece win a championship in her 5th year, I think that's a part of it. That's just me being quirky. But, you know, also there's a team that Acadia was the best team in the conference from start to finish.
Well, I tell you what, and you mentioned it, the seniors stepped up. Anderson and Barry, as well as Smith, along with the junior, Ellen Hatt. So let's go courtside. Alan April standing by with the TV1 player of the game, and that's no surprise who it is. Alan.
Actually, guys, I'm here with the tournament MVP. Breaking news, Paloma Anderson. Paloma, you're pretty emotional. What's on your mind right now? What are you feeling?
I don't know, like when I first came into the program, no one thought, we would be here right now. But I had a little faith with the group of girls that I came in with. We had an awesome coach and coaching staff, and I knew we could do it. And 5th year's a charm, so we did it.
Yeah, and I want to ask a little bit about your journey. 3.5 years ago, you made the decision to come to a small town of Wolfville, Nova Scotia. This year, it's listed as your hometown on the program. Why was that important to you, and what has Wolfville meant for you?
I don't know, Wolfville changed my life. I don't know, I was a little roughneck coming in. I thought I knew it all. I had a big ego, and I don't know, it humbled me. A lot of the girls that I grew up with in this program, they just, I don't know, gave me a little reality check, and I'm so happy to call it my home.
And finally, you guys have a veteran group, yourself and the 5th-year seniors, and your season's not over yet. You're headed to Regina for Nationals as the number 3 seed in the country. What can we expect to see next weekend at Nationals?
I think AUS, Acadia in particular, is a little underrated, so I know we're going to go out there, do our best. We played some of those teams already, so we're just going to go and give it a good shot. I think we have a good shot at it as well.
Well, congrats again, Paloma, our tournament MVP, and best of luck at Nationals. Going to send it back now to Vince and Augie in the booth, but we'll be back with the player of the game, Allie Berry, in moments.
Thanks a lot there, Alan. As you can take a look here, the final numbers after 40 minutes between the Axe-women and the Panthers. The Axe-women getting it done, Augie.
Well, 60, they out-rebounded by almost 20. Like, that's a lot of, offensive rebounds. They had 20-plus offensive rebounds. And so right now, they're the champs.
So let's throw it back downstairs to Alan April, who's courtside with the TV1 player of the game right now, Barry. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, Allie Berry, our TV1 player of the game. Monster performance for you. Big double-double in that first half. What was the key to your success in today's game and in the tournament?
Well, we're such a team-oriented team. We always move the ball. I think today my teammates were giving me the ball in the right places. Our passes were on. We were doing everything together, and I think that's what made us so successful over the entire year as well as in the playoffs.
And you guys have a core group of 5th years, yourself, Katie, Chanel, Paloma. What does it mean for you to win with these girls and share this experience with them?
I mean, it means so much. We went through so much together as a team, especially losing here last year and then coming back and winning this year. I feel so good to have those girls with me, and we've all grown as players and trained super hard together. Not only just us 5, but our whole team.
And finally, the season's not over. Next weekend, Nationals at Regina. How do you regroup and plan for Nationals, and what can fans expect from Acadia?
I hope they expect a good showing. We love playing. We have the best fan base. Our fans are filling the Metro Center right now, so I hope that they will support us through Nationals.
Well, go receive your tournament all-star you just won, Allie, and congrats. Back to you, Vince and Augie in the booth, guys.
Thanks, Alan. Great stuff there. Let's join now the public address announcer, Carissa Poulin, for the trophy presentation and All-Stars.
Next to present today's Wilson Security Defensive Players of the Game is Lauren Mills. Defensive Player of the Game from Acadia is number 7, Chanel Smith. And now for the Tournament All-Star Team, presented by Thane and Jackson Smith, on behalf of our 2018 Honorary Chair, Wade Smith. From the UPEI Panthers is number 8, Reese Baxendale. Second All-Star from the Acadia Axwomen is number 2, Haley McDonald. Third All-Star from the UPEI Panthers is number 4, Jenna Mae Ellsworth. The fourth All-Star from the Acadia Axwomen is number 14, Allie Berry. from the championship tournament from Acadia is number 11, Paloma Anderson. And now for the presentation of the Tournament Most Valuable Player Award. This year's Championship MVP Award will be presented by Lauren Mills, representing Wilson Security. The 2018 Tournament MVP from Acadia is number 11, Paloma Anderson. We would now ask the captains of the Axwomen to please come forward for the presentation of the AUS Championship banner and trophy.
We're all gonna come up. It's gonna get crowded.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 AUS Women's Basketball Champions, the Acadia Axwomen.
Very special moment there. The pictures tell it all, Augie. Axe women winning their third AUS title and on their way to the national championship next weekend in Regina. Special moment for them. Congratulations, Acadia.
Well, and congratulations to Len Harvey and his group. And, you know, congratulations to Greg Gould and the PEI Panthers. And this makes me feel good because I've seen Acadia grow from being a team that was young and not winning and getting beat by a lot of teams to a team that is the cream of the crop in the AUS if you stick with the process and you stick with a culture that's growing and that wins championships. So Kevin Dickey, Acadia University, congratulations for staying behind this team, supporting this team. And the whole AUS is going to be behind you as you go to Regina to attempt to win a U Sport Women's Basketball Championship.
So, up next, the men's game take to the hard court with their final at 4:30 p.m. The St. Francis Xavier X-Men taking on the UMB Varsity Reds. The final score in the championship game of the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Basketball Final, Acadia 80, UPEI 58. Make sure you join us for that men's final. For Ed Milliken, our producer, and of course, Augie Jones and Alan April and the entire TV1 crew, Vince Williams saying congratulations to the Axwomen. Thanks so much for watching TV1, the home of the Subway AUS Finals.